Good morning everyone, welcome to Bonsai Expression. I'm Christoph, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not new to the channel, you're back again. Thanks for supporting me, and well, I hope you've had a good time, and I hope we can continue this year fresh as a daisy. No mistakes going on this year, at least I hope not anyway, but we're back at it, cracking on. This time around, we're here with my original English oak. Now I got this one, if you remember, and if you're an old school viewer of the channel, we got this one the very first year that I went down to Birmingham's Bonsai boot sale, and I came back with a stick in a pot. Now this one is no longer a stick in a pot, so it's got a little bit of thickness down at the bottom, it's got a nice little bit of taper, it's growing out nice and fat towards the base, and if you look closely, which I'll show you shortly, it's actually gotten so thick pretty quickly because I've fertilised the living daylights out of it, and I've let it grow in this pot for the last 3 years. That is actually starting to crack the base, so the bark is actually started splitting, which is nice. So it's getting that nice thick taper at the base, and then it's gone up and nice and thin. So I've had a couple of chops as well on this, but this year I'm actually going to give it a repot. So not right now. All I'm going to do today is just going to give a little bit of a prune just to bring it in slightly. And then in the next couple of weeks, as it starts warming up and the buds start to bud, then we're going to be doing some root work on it and getting it into a new pot. So today, a little video for us, just getting this ready to do the root work. So I'm just going to come in and give a little bit of a prune, just make sure the tree is healthy enough. And as a quick view, I can see it is. I've got plenty of buds all over the tree. But first of all, I'm just going to get you in close and let you have a look at my original oak. As I was saying, this is my original oak. I believe, if I look at this, I repotted it in 23. So it's been in this pot now. So this year, coming up to it, this will be the 3rd year. So it's been in the pot for a year. So I'm quite confident it's got a no, I'm not going to swear. It's got a shed load of roots in there. Save myself there. YouTube algorithm and all that. We can have ads. So we've got an absolute shed load of roots in there. It's going to be stacked. So as I was saying earlier, if I get you in there, look at that base. It's got nice cracking. Look at the big crack there. You can see how quickly this has got some growth in it. And then it goes up. You can see how thick it is there. And then it goes pretty thin. But I've done a couple of chops. I've done a big one there. And then I've also had chops there. And I've done another one just further up, as you can see, just here. And then we've got a nice big long section up here that's growing up. So I'm going to continue to grow that. I'm going to let it thicken up. That's what I did. So as you can see, I did a couple of chops. I let it grow out, chopped back, let it grow out, chopped back, and then we've got this long leader again. I'm going to let this grow continue again through this year, at least halfway through the year, and then I'll probably chop back to possibly somewhere around here, maybe even further back. But today, as we're going to look into it, as you can see, it's looking nice, plenty of buds. The thing with oaks is, if you're looking here, you can see that they do tend to swell buds a lot in one area, which is always good. So when they do burst, it gives you lots of options, but you've got to watch out because they do tend to pop a lot of buds in one section. Okay, so all I'm going to do today is just come in and I'm going to cut back, just make it neat. So my front is round there, so that is my front, and you're looking at it just like that. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to lose a couple of branches. So first things first, I've got this branch here, just going to take this one out, nice little snip, and then I'm going to bring some of the branches in a little bit. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to take that one up to there, and I've got this branch just there. In fact, I'm going to bring it in just a little bit more to that bud. I'm going to leave a little bit. I can't remember if these die back or not, and I've got a little snippet just on the end there. I want to come in and clean that up. This branch I do gonna keep. I know it's not proper England. All I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it. I'm going to allow cut back to that bud just there. Just going to keep it in so it comes out just there, and it's going to allow it to develop to that bud. Don't want it growing out too far. Now I've got this section here, and I've also got this. So I'll start with this one here. It grows up and too far straight, but I'm going to bring it down a little bit. If I turn just on a section, you can see I do have a bud just here, I'm going to cut to that bud there. Hopefully we can develop from this bud and then I can develop it outwards, because I don't have it going too straight that way. So up a little bit and then outwards is no crime at all. And then if I rotate this way to this one, this is my flat branch, and then it comes down. I've got a bud here. I'm going to continue to develop from there. So hopefully if I turn it that way, it'll grow down and then continue out that way. Looking at it, I do like this branch as well, but it does grow out too far. So I'm just going to come in, bring it back just a smidge. I would like to develop it probably back to here. So in fact I'm going to go and bring it in a little bit more tightly, just like that. In fact, let's go back here. Let's develop that underbud. Just there. So we are making it a bit tight, a bit more compact. Come round to the back branches. I'm going to do exactly the same as what we've just done here. We've got these two long branches coming from the same section, which is nice. So if you look from the front, which is roughly there, and you look upwards, you can see that these branches now, we want to go just there, and if I pop round into the back, just there, they will develop from the buds. That's our focus just on there. Okay, so we've got that section done. Take you back to the front. Now because I've shortened those ones, this one up here is probably now a little bit too long. So come on, let's face in. I'm going to come back to there and allow that to develop in bud from that section. And then it means I've just got to come in, snip back to, no, let's go back to there on that one. There on that one. Take these ones back, bring them in nice and tight. We're going up to this section here. We've got to keep them in tight as well. Come on, focus up nicely. Just there. I'm just going to come in there and then whoop, stay focused for me. There, there, and you know what? I know I said it was tall, but I will just bring it in. If it comes into the buds, just so there we go. Now we've trimmed everything tight, and it is still tall. Now the tallness is to bring in some more growth upwards. In fact, I might just, because we've trimmed everything back, I might just have a look and see if I can bring anything back. Maybe it's a developing bud. Let's have a look, see if we can see anything going on. Can I bring anything closer down? I'll just bring it to that one. In fact, just there. I would like to bring it closer, further down here, but for the time being, we have just cut everything, so something will pop later on. We could even use this as the leader and get rid of all this big cut. But I'll probably do that, and I'll wait until everything buds up in the spring. So we've got there. There we go. So that's the front. And as you can see, everything is now cut into place. We've got this nice big leader, which we could get rid of, and we could start developing this as the leader if we wanted to. But I'll see what buds up into this section, and then we could potentially use this still as the leader, and we'll cut somewhere around here if we can. And we've got a nice strong leader. This would be a nice little branch. Cut somewhere here. We just wait to see what happens come spring. When we pot, everything starts budding out. We can start repotting. There we go. So it looks something like that. And then, as I say, if we get the nice cut, so you've got your potential leader there, or even somewhere there. And again, we've still got this wired in, so we could still potentially, as I say, just move this over a little bit. Cut that to it. There's a bud there. You can cut that there, or even there, or even bend that over. You see? So again, we've got the options. We'll just leave it for now, see what happens. quick trim, nice easy video for us. As you can see, it's all done, and I've got this nice long section here. Don't worry, it's not going to stay as I say. It's not going to stay as I say. Okay, whatever. So we've got the option now, so we can leave this to grow and pull more energy through the tree if we like. But if we're going to play with the roots, that might not necessarily be a good idea. So when it starts budding out, we will see what happens, and we will make that decision if we're going to go and cut down lower. We could potentially use somewhere down here, have this as a leader, or we'll see what comes of, because we've got a couple of buds down here, but I just need to see what breaks and make a decision with it. So I could, as I say, could potentially bend this over, cut down here, got some buds here, but as I say, we will see what happens as spring comes and buds start developing and popping. Once we've got that decision, well, once that tree makes its own decision to see what it gives me, I'll start looking at doing the root work. Once the root work's done, if we've got too much growth up here and it puts too much stress on the roots, because I'll know that once I start looking at the roots, because if I'm going to have to take a lot of roots off, I'm going to have to cut some of this, because it's going to drain too much energy from the roots to provide energy up top here. I'll cut back further just to make sure we're okay that way. But overall, nice quick video. We've got a nice set ready to go. I do really think that this is probably going to be too long, but we'll see. Yeah, so it's all set. I've got the front here. I've got some nice little buds ready to pop. Nice right, left branch, back branch. Nice potential leader or first branch on for leadership. Couple of buds just in this section. Potentially too long, but we'll see. Anyway, that's it, ready to go. And if you like this one, please do hit the like. I am back now on YouTube. I've had myself a nice little break. I'm feeling nice and refreshed. If you like seeing me here again, please hit the hype video as well, don't forget, as well as the like. And if you're new and the video's finally been pushed out on YouTube, because again it's changed the bloody algorithms, please subscribe. Why not? It's free. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you again. I'm going to go make another video. Why not? It's not written. Bye everyone.